Well, as I grew up, I was always interested in nature. Um, Even before I knew the word biology, I knew I was very fascinated by nature. And one of the things that is easily touched in nature are plants. So I became very quickly interested in plants as a young child. Um, then my parents caught on to that and allowed me to garden a small piece of my own garden. And I really, really enjoyed that. And I think that's probably where much of my interest in plant science is rooted in. And when I then went to study biology in the university, there were some key people that were very important, I think, in introducing plant science to me, and in particular, plant microbe interactions. And those people were Peter Bakker and Corné Petersen, who showed me the world of interactions between these fascinating organisms that essentially go through all sorts of symbiotic relationships, but also warfare with each other. And that really captivated me. And I've been studying it ever since. I think plant science is incredibly important for human health and for the health of our planet. Plants essentially are the major building block of everything around us. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for plants. And so I think valuing the environment around us and the diversity of plants in it is the first step, I think, in realizing how important they are to us. Second, of course, we are incredibly dependent on our food for plants. And so, creating environments in which we can sustainably produce that food is absolutely critical. So that we care for the world, but also make sure that we ourselves have enough food security and enough nutritional value in our foods as well. So plants are everywhere around us and they shape all aspects of human health. The research topic that I work on very much centers around plant microbe interactions. I was introduced to this during the course of my undergraduate studies, and it was in fact an integrated master's. And at the end of that, I did a number of internships. And the first internship I did was in a lab that studied the plant immune system, and in particular, it studied how different plant immune hormones interact with each other. And these were hormones that are effective against different types of pathogens. And that really, found that really, really fascinating. Understanding how a plant fine tunes how it's going to launch a defense against one pathogen and not the other. How do you recognize that pathogen? How do you know what defense response to launch? And that really got me, I think, into the start of my career. And I developed that much further during the next stages of my career. I think a piece of advice I would give to somebody just starting out their career is to really explore what options there are with plant science. It isn't just that there's one research career track in plant science. The plant science discipline actually offers numerous different job types, probably many job types you would have never considered. And so trying to understand that, and particularly through programs such as this one, the summer school, where you get some exposure to the different types of jobs that are available to you, I think opens up a whole new world of what plant science is used for in our society. I think what I enjoy most about my job is that I go to work every day not knowing what I'm going to discover next. And I think there's not many people who can say that about their job, that you go to work and you're digging into the unknown. You want to discover something that you're going to be the first to discover that. And that excites me, and that is what excites my research team. And I think it's a real privilege to have. The next frontier in plant science, I think there are several, since plant science is so diverse. It has several, I think, frontiers. One that is, of course, throughout our society now is artificial intelligence. So AI has the capacity, I think, to really transform how we do our plant science, and it's already happening in the way we do plant science. A good example of that is in the area that I'm in, looking at the interactions between plants and pathogens or other microorganisms. And that looks at using AI to find ways in which we can recognize pathogens that haven't been recognized before by the plant. And AI gives us the tool set to do that, to design proteins to make those detections happen, for example. I think another frontier, perhaps in plant science in the UK, is worth mentioning, is that we've moved forward in the regulatory aspect of plant science, and we now have a precision breeding bill in place in the UK, which allows us to do gene editing and to bring products forwards through that approach. I think that's a very key step that the UK has taken, and hopefully it'll be in a leadership position in Europe to deliver more of that.